speaking this morning is, where's my child's faith gone? You know, when we're a child, it was easy for somebody to tell us something, we instantaneously believed it. You know, and we went with it. That's the way we were raised. As we grew older in our lives, you know, things happen. You know, all the pressures of the world come down upon us. Maybe it's a cancer that comes upon you. Maybe it's a financial problem that comes upon you. Maybe it's a marital problem that comes upon you. All those things start pressing in on us. And all of a sudden we start thinking, God, I'm all here all alone. Nobody's here to help me. And we forget how big our God is. Plain and simple. And so I'm going to talk about that this morning. And, you know, and I know there's 4 pages of notes, and most of them are scripture. So if you're kind of freaking out with the pastor, I'll give you 1 page. We've already taken care of the back page. Okay? Matthew 18. And I won't read everything, but I put everything on here so that you can take this home. This has been one of those weeks. I pulled a muscle getting out of bed last Sunday morning. By the time I got home from church, my back was knotted up. And I said, Lord, I got to preach next Sunday. I cannot have this problem. Put ice on it, had Tammy on it with her elbows. Oh, that didn't feel too good, but it felt good. And, you know, I got through that. And come Wednesday, every bone and joint in my body was hurting. You know, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, I couldn't walk harder. My hips were hurting. My shoulders were hurting. And I realized that I took my leave today. Well, I filled up my pill keeper box last week, and they didn't put me any leave in it. So I went 3 or 4 days without a leave. And then Friday night, I came home from work, and I was sitting there, my stomach was hurting, and this was hurting. And all of a sudden, I realized, I put some ice on this, and kept moving the ice down. It was passing a kidney stone. You know, and I said, Lord, something good is going to happen Sunday. Amen. Because, you know, it didn't stop there because, you know, yesterday I asked for something and all of a sudden Satan was, you know, coming out against me in a sense, you know, and what we were trying to get done. And then this morning I printed these off from my house to my office and I asked one of the supervisors to put paper in the printer, and what did he put in there? He put in cardboard. The printer didn't like it. By the time we got there to pick it up, we're sitting there kind of waiting on it to come out and had to keep resetting the printer. I felt like the toner lady from the play. And then on the way to church, I got excited. But the word says, and Jesus called a little child to him, set him in the midst of them, and it said, surely, I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself as a little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. And I think another version goes on to say it also receives God who's in heaven. Matthew 19. The little children were brought to him that he might put his hands on them and pray. But the disciples rebuked him. But Jesus said, let the children come to me, and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of heaven. And he laid on his hands on them, and he departed from there. Children, the lifeblood of the church. Hillary Clinton said we needed a community to raise a child. I don't think it's a community. I think it's a God-fearing parents in a Pentecostal, Bible-believing church. What they need. Our pastor is away at the powwow. I know some of you came, I know you're a little disappointed he's not here to preach. He hasn't preached in the third Sunday morning. He was sick, and then, you know, I think then Sister Tina had to throw him off the altar last week and did a great job. And pastor appreciation. But, you know, he's had camp meetings, you know, and he's had teen camp that he's been at. And he's been at powwow all weekend long, playing Batman. With the kids. And you say, well, he should be here. No, he shouldn't be. See, what we need, we got. We got a pastor who has a heart for kids. We have a pastor who understands stuff that the little children can't. He's talked about it, and I'll talk about it. I never knew Pastor Eric before he came and he spoke the one Sunday morning at our church, but my children did. And my children testified of who he was. And he would spend time at camp, for a man, to leave his family and go spend time at camp administering. And now where is he at? He's at powwow with Brother Dick, I believe, and maybe Brother Chris, and some of the brothers, and the boy and the girl. And that's where we want him. We want him ministering. We want our children realizing that our pastor is their pastor, that they can go to him, that he can minister to them, and that their hurts are his hurts. See, when I was a child, I was lucky. I had a God-fearing mom that could pray heaven down on me. But besides that, I come to church, and we had Sunday school back in those days. Some things that went away. And Sister Ingram was a teacher, and Brother and Sister Emmons, or even John Emmons, and Margaret Martin. And I know my mom taught, and it was a lot of these elderly saints. And Sister Norma's mom would be in the sanctuary, Sister Roberts teaching. I think it was called preaching back in the day. But that's what I was raised on. I'm a product of that education. And Sister Golden doing children's church. The most important ministry that this church can have is to our children. To children's church. God bless those who go out and pour into our children. And pour into their lives. See, I believe my children are all Christian today. And I believe my brother and sisters are all living for God today because of Sunday school and children's church. And because of the church. Yeah, we had a mom that prayed for us. And she'd whisper prayer in the middle of the night, and she could call down heaven on you. And she would have been, if she was a prodigal father, I want you to listen to this. If she was a prodigal father, this would have been her prayer. Lord, I'm giving my son everything it's his. And Lord, if you have to make him eat pig slop to come back home and be a Christian, let him eat it. That would have been her prayer. And then when I was standing there eating pig slop, she would not have been praying, Lord, no, not that, not that, not that. She'd been praying, let him eat it. Plain and simple. See, she put her kids in God's hands. But she knew that she put us in his hands, we would be okay. I remember one time, and I'm trying not to go back to experiences when I was a kid. I was a little lad, and I was outside playing and came inside to get a drink of water. Mom was laying on the couch, sick. And I asked Mom, what's wrong? And she said to me, she says, I'm sick, I'm not feeling well. And so I prayed the most deep spiritual prayer of all time. I spoke to every organ in her body that they would normally function. I spoke to the blood that was flowing through every vein. I probably even, I didn't pray in the Holy Spirit, I wasn't then. But what I'm saying is I prayed this prayer of childlike faith. And we hear people get up and they start these big fancy prayers and and all those kind of things and they're praying for something. But the prayer of faith is what I prayed. 8 words. God heal my mommy in Jesus' name. Amen. Went off about my business, went outside on the street and played, did whatever I did. Came back an hour and a half later, she's in the kitchen, she's cooking, she's singing, she's moving around. I said, Mom, I thought you were sick. She said, you prayed for me. God healed me. Prayer of faith. What is faith? The Bible says that now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The substance of things hoped for. What are you hoping for today? What can't you see? See, there's things going on in my life that I'm hoping for. Get real. There's things I can't see. But I serve a God who's bigger than any of those things. See, there may be some health ailments on you. There may be some financial problems that you're going through. Those are the substances that God's talking about here in the Word of God. That's what we have to get a hold of in our life, is the substances. What are the things hoped for? And I'm not talking about, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about some freebie. Give me $20,000 today, and next week you're going to be blessed 100-fold. No. What do you need? What's going on in your life? You may be single and you're looking for a Christian spouse. You know, you may be looking for a better job. Work the job you have until you get the better job, but you may be working for it. Looking for it. Understand you have substance. Substance are things you need in your life. Maybe it's lost children, the substance of their soul, and you can't see it. But then it goes on to say, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. I mean, we have to have faith. We have to pray. We have to believe. Having faith is important to us. I don't have faith. I've lost my faith. Have you? Is it covered up? Does it need to be uncovered in your life? Romans 12, for I say through the grace given to me, to everyone who is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly. But God has dealt to each one a measure of faith. A measure of faith. I think they handed out these little packets today. It's amazing what this... Now, this is not a mustard tree plant. If you've ever seen a mustard tree, they grow huge. It's a little seed that grows. And so, when Jesus was talking about the faith of a mustard seed, if we would... the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Now these ones, if you take them home, you put them about an inch below ground, about 6 inches apart, and watch them grow. And if you've never had mustard greens, they're tasty, they're spicy, they're good. You know, you might have to acquire a taste for them, but these will grow. But the reason I gave these to you, and Tammy thought of a little pack like this, is something you can put in your wallet so when your faith is down, you can look at your faith and let it grow again. But he says in the next verse, because of your unbelief, for surely I say to you, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Nothing will be impossible for you. Creflo Dollar, years ago on TV, was diagnosed with cancer. Didn't tell his congregation about it. Grabbed his Bible, went off to his private place. I don't know if it was a cabin or it was out in the woods by himself. And he read every scripture for 3 days, dealing with healing in his body. Came back, healed. Cancer was gone. He did some things right. took his Bible. He took the Word. He went off by himself. Sometimes telling other people your problem is not a good thing. You know? I've got terminal cancer. Well, brother, I'll pray for you and I'll come to your funeral. That's not what I need. You got kidney problems. You got arthritis. You've got all these different kind of things going on in your life. And what you need is somebody to come alongside of you and be a prayer with you, a faith person that's going to rise up with you. Sometimes telling your problems to other people only brings condemnation on you. You know? There was a man in the Bible that brought his son. You know, the demon-possessed son to Jesus. And you can read about this. I'm just going to go ahead and talk here. And the disciples came back, it's in John 9. Who sinned? Was this a man or his parents sinned? Neither of them. Neither the man nor the parents sinned. But that the works of God should be revealed to him. I must work the works of him who has sent me to this day. The night is coming when no work as long as I am in the world. And this was the blind man I'm talking about here. But nobody had sinned. It wasn't something you did. I mean, sometimes we get ourselves in these situations in our own lives where we think, I put myself in this mess. God didn't do this, and he's not going to help me out. But yes, he will. Prayer of faith, ask forgiveness. Lord, help me to get over this. Help me to get through this. Let this be the glory of God. This person was blind from birth because it was for the time and the glory of God for him to be healed. You may be going through something not for yourself, and you're going to be delivered from it or healed from it or taken away from it for the glory of God. So that somebody else who's walking down the same road you are walking can look at your testimony and say, that God healed him. He can heal me. He saved him. He can save me. He brought his children into church and got them saved. He can bring my children into church. That's what it's about. Having a little bit of faith, trusting God, putting your problems into his hands. Well, God doesn't like me. He doesn't want me. Matthew 15. The holy woman of Cana came from the region and cried out to him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, send her away. She cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and she worshipped him. She wasn't deterred by a negative response or a different response. Sometimes people come and they pray one time and they don't get what they want, and okay, God doesn't want to do it for me. You might have to keep coming back. Keep praying. Keep having that faith. Keep putting it before the Lord. Everything that goes on with that, putting it before the Lord. And he answered, he said, it's not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. Because people came in with dogs in the sight of the Jewish people. He was there for the Israelites. But guess what? She was undeterred. Her problem was bigger than anything that she could handle. Her daughter was demon-possessed. There wasn't a thing that she could do about it. And if you have a child that has been sick, or in this case demon-possessed, or anything else, it's a bigger problem than you can deal with. You need a Jesus. Plain and simple. And she said back to him, yes, Lord. Yet even the little dog, she understood, because she was surrounded by Israelites. She understood what they thought she was. But even the little dogs eat the crumbs from the master's table. which fall from the master's table. Even the dogs. Put yourself in that situation. You feel like God won't do something for you? You feel God won't heal you? He won't deliver you? You've been through the toughest time in the world. It might be a financial problem. Also, probably you think it's the end of the world. God's not going to do anything. Guess what? Even the dogs, the people who are on the outside, the black sheep, eat from the crumbs of the table. And what did Jesus say to her? "O woman, great is thy faith. Let it be as you desire." And her daughter was healed from that hour forth. What does it mean? You have to press through. The old Bill Cream commercial. A little dab will do you. It's not what it's about. Older people like me understand that commercial. Younger people, what Bill Cream. It's a constant war you go through. I've been through some things in my life that I didn't know how I was going to come out on the other end. But when I came out on the other end, I was better. Things look better. You say, "Dave, we got a perfect life." You know, I do. I got a perfect wife, perfect life, perfect wife. Oh, it's happy wife, happy life. I'm sorry. Perfect children, ask them. Perfect job. So the 230-some people show up every day and brings all their problems. Perfect employee, ask April. No, I have a blessed life. Woman with the issue of blood. I spoke about that before. I mean, she could have been stoned to death. 12 years. Maybe you're going through something for 12 years. Maybe it's time that you press through the crowd. Maybe it's time you lay everything else aside. What people thought about you, what people, think of your family, lay your failures aside, everything else, lay it aside and press into God and let Him. Because just the touching the hem of His garment, what did it do? She was healed. And boy, he turned around. "Who touched me?" You know the story. See, we have so many things in the Word of God that He's put there for us. And to allow your faith to grow, allow that mustard seed to grow up in your life, means you have to keep trusting in Him and keep believing on Him. Why, you say, why is sickness on earth? Why is the oppression and the depression and everything else that we face that we have to go through on this earth? Sin. Eve and Adam sinned. Adam and Eve sinned, however you want to put it. Brought it in. Allowed Satan. I've seen this week alone Satan putting walls up in my life, trying to stop me from doing what God wanted me to do. Trying to be in my way. But you have to press through. One of the greatest scriptures of prophecy was in Isaiah 53. And when we talk about that, it was Jesus laying down His life for each and every one of us. Surely He has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we have seen Him stricken, bitten by God, and afflicted. And He was bruised for our transgressions. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace was upon Him. And by His stripes, we were healed. Now, I'm going to tell you how I believe, and you don't have to believe the same way I believe. Okay? Get the Word, pray. What I believe when Jesus was taking the stripes. Now, I mean, we've seen horsewhips. But his horsewhip had 7 ends on it every time he was lashed. And on the end, they say there was like a piece of glass that had a fish hook coming out of it. And they say that he multiplied every time he was hit on his back. And that grabbed in, those hooks grabbed in and ripped the flesh out of his back. And they say that you multiply all the diseases and all the ways that they come down, that every disease he took. Now, the way I believe, it's like you go get a flu shot. I believe that when those things hit his back, it was hitting his back with cancer, arthritis. I believe it was being put on him. Yes, his blood healed it. But I believe as he walked to Golgotha, that he carried not only our sickness, not only our sin, but every depression and every oppression and every financial problem that you've ever seen, every miracle problem that you've ever seen. What a load he was carrying to Golgotha. Because he had to die for any of that to mean anything. Because right on the cross he was tempted. You can call your angels down and save you. No. He had to die. They say that every blood, because he was nailed in the feet, he was punctured in the side, he was on his head with the cross. Every ounce of blood came out of his body. For what? For your sins? Yeah. Well, if you can believe God can forgive your sins, then you can believe he can heal you. You can believe that your marriage is falling apart will be put back together. You can believe the education trouble you're having in school and you're trying to study and you can't grasp the theorems and the postulates and all those kind of things in geometry, which I slept through that class. You can believe that it can help you learn. You can believe, like I was, cleaning ovens for $30 an apartment. And college kids don't ever clean an oven. And they wanted every black spot off the end of it. And $30 apartment. I can believe for a better job. Yeah, I've been through some tough times. But God has 4 times what I've prayed for blessed me in a job, in the salary of a job. You can believe that your cancer will go away. You can believe that if you're in a church playing the drums and you have a massive heart attack and you die, and people have to bring you back to life 3 times with CPR. By the time you get to the hospital, your family is in Tennessee, Seattle, in Belgium, in Germany. This just happened. And the doctor said, 20 minutes without oxygen, he's going to be a vegetable. Some of you know who it is. Pastor Burton's son Philip was here years ago. 2 Sundays ago. In church, get ready to play the drums. Fell over. They had to bring him back to life 3 times. Broke his ribs because he was doing CPR right. Got to the hospital, had him in a coma. The doctors was not giving the family any hope whatsoever. He's going to be a vegetable if he survives. But prayer went out all over the nation, all over the world. Brother come in from Seattle, family, mom and dad came in from Chattanooga, Tennessee, or Cleveland, Tennessee. Family had to find ways to get home from Belgium, and God supplied the needs. He was in the hospital 6 days. Saturdays a week ago, he went home. But Philip and Becky, and I wish I had downloaded that on Facebook. They were thanking everybody. The pacemaker, the defibrillator they put into his heart was donated by the manufacturer. The surgeon who implanted it donated his services. And when they asked him his name, my name don't matter. They needed a place to rehab. Somebody gave them a 3-bedroom, two-bathroom place on the beach so they could rehab close to the hospital and be together. People have brought food in. Over $22,000 have been sent in because he has no insurance. See, we still serve a God who heals. We still serve a God who cares. And we still serve a God who answers prayer. Awesome testimony. And today, he's here. See, I want you to take the song that I had sang before. Bigger than all my problems. What's your problem? Is it bigger than my cancer? Is it bigger than my arthritis? You know, is it bigger than my back problems? Is it bigger than my financial problems? Is it bigger than my spousal problems? Is it bigger than my education problems? Is it bigger than all those things that allow God to be bigger than those things today? Because he is. And he cares for you. He knew what was going to be spoke about this morning, preached about, taught about. He knew that you would be here to hear this message. And now, I'm asking you, where's your faith? What's happened to your childlike faith? I'm telling you sometimes your faith goes down in your life. But we have to get back to that childlike faith. You're first saved, and you're just on fire for God, and your faith is growing, and everything's going right. Seems to be right in your life, but then life hits. You've walked into some situations in your life, and I don't know what the birds walked into when the phone rang, and the son, and the brother, and the husband, and the father had a cardiac arrest. Things like that can hit you. One of the things that the man said in here, he says, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. Some things can hit you so hard, it takes your breath away in trying to find your faith to fight back. Find your faith. I want to ask him to play that song, Bigger on My Problems, and if you have things you would like to pray about, prayer team, if you could come.